What's going on, my good people? This your boy Lap Up the Entertainer, here to bring you some action between Bowie State and Howard University. This happened at the Capitol Battle of the Bands. So these two were going at it in the midst of the battle, and so this is going to be interesting to see these bands go at each other. This is my second time, well, really my third time seeing Howard since this, but this is really my, I guess you could say, second impression of Bowie, because I only saw them, which was yesterday. So it's fairly new to me. So I'm just excited to see both bands and see what they're going to be capable of doing. So there will be a loss issue today. So somebody will be getting a loss on their record, unfortunately. So, but hey, if it's a tie, it's something crucial, but, it might be a loss coming their way. So, with that being said, if you're new to the family, please consider liking and subscribing. It helps your boy out tremendously to bring out this type of content. I grade all bands from the swag to the meek to the seek, you name it. And I give my pinpoint opinion on how I feel about it, okay? This is why y'all check in and get my opinion, alright? But what makes my channel different from others, by the way, is that I actually give a grade and I showcase my knowledge and what I feel as if needs to be worked on. So, if y'all interested in that and want the science in that, please consider subscribing. I'm a band analyst and a band critique, so you're getting it from me raw and uncut, okay? Now, granted, it's just me, so it's not a group of me, so you're just getting one opinion, all right? So, with that being said, so y'all know what we'll be grading, okay? Look to the cards next to me. We're going to be grading sound selection, power, articulation, arrangement, and overall cleanness. Alright? I have a bonus department, and for this battle, it's like basically stands, but since they're on the field, I kind of counted as stands. Power is going to be a bonus of 5. Arrangement is going to be extra sensitive of 5, and cleanness is extra sensitive of 5. So I'm expecting some big things. A lot of strengths and weaknesses are going to be shown in this battle. Okay, so it's definitely a preference thing, who won who, but I'm giving my honest opinion of who won. Okay, so there's not me having any stands. I'm not connected with anybody, so you kind of get what I'm getting at. So, with that being said, we're gonna get into the action. Okay, so.
Smash Time is in the building.
The band is just big. I'm acting serious. Locked in. Here we go. What's your name? What's your major? I'm just X, and I'm a marketing major. What year? My fourth year. Senior?
Represent Howard. What's your
name? Your classification, and your major.
My name is Ian Laboon. I'm a senior in the mechanical engineering.
Make some noise for y'all. Round one. Battle with
Howard. Bowie State. Coin toss. You got a coin? On the phone?
Bowie State calls 10.
He told Siri to flip a coin.
His head.
He said he going to first. That means y'all going first.
Bowie State going first. I call
Gotta love this type of stuff, man. Being in the band is a sport, damn it.
I'm excited to see this. This is my first battle with the bands.
Bowie State's gonna go first.
And that is
a nice spirit mix going on. Let's give that a grade. That was nice. Nice little perfect for them, man. That was nice for Bowie State. That was nice. Woo! They came with some pressure starting off, man. They came with some pressure. Alright, so song selection is 10. Power, I'm going to give them a 13. Very good for their size. Articulation is 10. Arrangement, I'm going to give them a 14. Cleanness, I'm going to give them a 13. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. No complaints, really. They got a 60 on that one. That's not bad. They get a 60 on that. That's pretty good. Moving on. Howard's next. I wish all the bands got a chance to do this. Issues with the tubas.
If you don't know where to start in Top Heroes World, the Springland is a great place to start. There are low-level enemies and villages.
was not a perfect. Alright, so this is what I'm going to give it. Song selection's an 8. Reason why I'm giving it an 8 is because, I mean, look, I'm going to be realistic. This is a battle, and you play Nick.
Disappointing.
Alright, not only did you play Nick, but you played that after they did something. Nick is like a response. Is like, okay, yeah, we get it. You know what I'm saying? But that is... that wasn't the response, man. Everything else was cool. I would have gave it lower if that's what they was going to respond with just Nick. But because it was a spirit mix tied into Nick, I gave it an 8. So I gave it a fair shake when it came down to that. Alright? So Power, I'm going to give Power a 13. Articulation is a 9. Tubas had some attacking issues in this. In that mix, they had some attacking issues going on in that. Arrangement, I'm going to give arrangement a 13. That was cool for the majority. Cleanness, I'm going to give that a 9 as well. Alright? So, that's one of those things. It was some muddy parts in there as well. You know, especially if you're going straight into a tuba break and the tubas are not hitting together, that can kind of hurt and help. Alright? So, let's get that a grade. They got a 52. Alright, and moving on. That's not bad at all. Yeah, they don't want Super Saiyan in this thing. I see y'all, Bowie. I see y'all, Bowie. Y'all did pretty good on that one. Alright, so sound selection is a 10. Power, I want to get them a 12. Articulation, 10. Arrangement, I'm going to give that a 12. Cleanness, I want to give that a 12. Not bad. Not bad at all. I got a 56. Alright, moving on.
Ever wondered what your home looks like from
not gonna put
space?
a commercial
Enter
here.
your address and get a 360-degree satellite view.
Alright, let's give that a grade. Alright, was not a perfect. I feel like it's missing an edge on here. Alright, song selection, I'm going to give that a 10. Power, I'm going to give them a 13. Articulation is a 10. Arrangement is a 9. Cleanness, I want to give cleanness a 13. Almost a perfect. Almost a perfect. It was close. I just felt as if when you do hip-hop tunes, I need extra than just a big loop. I don't care if you put dynamics in it. You know, if it's still kind of the same arrangement, it's not going to touch home as much. Like, you can even tell by the crowd. The crowd was like, is that it? You know what I'm saying? They got crunk. They got crunk, definitely got crunk, but I just felt like it was just missing just a little bit of edge right there. Alright? So they got a 55 on that. Wasn't bad, it was close. What I would say with this battle, the second round, Bowie beat them by 1 point. It's a 1 point difference in that second round. Moving on. Alright. Let's get that agreed. Sound selection is a 10. Power, I'm going to give them a 13. Articulation, I want to give them a 10. Arrangement, I'm going to give them a 13. Cleanness, I'm going to give that a 13. Very even around the board on that. And they went Super Saiyan Blue God. Let's highlight that. Consistency. That's what we want, is consistency. That's good. That's good right there. Alright, so. They got a 59 on that one. Alrighty, moving on. Alrighty, so we're not going to count that against Howard that last round. So I guess they was pushing for time, so they couldn't respond. But let's give that a grade. Alrighty, so we only gonna be grading these 2 rounds, and we're gonna give it a difference, ladies and gentlemen, out of these 2 rounds. Okay, so I think we based off the information that I'm giving, I think y'all know who won. Okay, but I'm gonna give a difference in their grades since it's just 2. All right, so it is what it is, but please do not get any feelings about these grades. Okay. So I'm just doing quick little math here, and then we're gonna say who won. Alrighty, so based off my books and based off my reaction, okay, Bowie State won this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, it was a 9-point difference, so it was not a close battle at all. Alright, so let me explain why I picked Bowie over Howard. Okay, number 1. They had a stronger song selection than
Victory.
Howard. Number 1. Alright. Very strong selection of songs over Howard. Their arrangements was slightly stronger than Howard as well. Alright. When we look at consistency and everything else, they kind of fluctuate between power and etc. So they had their moments. But it was definitely something, those 2 departments, the song selection arrangement, is what killed Howard in this battle. Okay? It was a lack of those 2, which hurt them in this battle, ladies and gentlemen. So Bowie State was stronger in this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, coming off my books. But again, this is my preference. This is what I'm grading. So that's what I got. But feel free to say I'm wrong. That's okay. Just don't try to crucify your boy in the comments because I said the other band won. This is my opinion, all right, and I respect your opinion, all right. But that's my verdict, ladies and gentlemen. Bowie State was stronger, but I'm gonna say this like this, man. Much love, and I appreciate y'all for making it to the end of the video. Shout out your favorite school in the bottom if y'all want to, man. But I'm gonna tell y'all like I always. Deuces.